Cutter Gauthier. We've learned how to pronounce that one months ago. But Cutter Gauthier has signed with the Ducks, but more importantly than that, before the national championship over the weekend, he did what I wanted him to do as soon as the Philly stuff happened, which is, and if you go back and you check the tapes, I say, there's a discussion like, is Cutter Gauthier an asshole? Does he deserve to be clowned for asking out of Philly for the way this whole thing is played out? I said, probably not good behavior, but if I'm Cutter Gauthier, the way that I respond to this is by leaning into it and just becoming a heel and becoming like a villain in the NHL landscape.
But he is such a reserved villain. He's not out there being like, oh, and here's what we're going to do next. Oh, yeah, they want to come at me. We told them what's what. He's just like what did you just, wait. What did you say? And Sean, what did he say before the national championship?
What do you anticipate this rematch on this championship stage to be like tonight?
It's going to be epic. There's going to be a lot of emotions, and a lot of tears for that team over there. So we're happy and we're excited to get after it.
Everybody, it's Monday, and people are pissed. Or he should be pissed, or people should be pissed at him. I think we're both happy.
Oh, I want him to be that guy. I want him to be like the heel.
He guaranteed a loss there. And what he said, if you need to do it, what did he say? He said there's going to be a lot of tears on that other side. They were just asking like, hey, you're ready to play a game? And he was like, oh, yeah, they're pussies. Yeah, they're dead.
I find this so lame.
Come on.
Like, I want him to be a villain too, but the reason that him being a villain in Philly was cool was because everyone was shitting on him. Like there was somebody that turned like, I don't want to say like Denver didn't deserve this because it's not like I feel bad for Denver, but it's just like you ended up losing. Like you just look like a loser now. And like this doesn't in the moment, sure, but now that it didn't pay off, you just look like a nerd.
Well, of course, like that's the risk, right? It's like you gotta, if you're gonna make bold proclamations, there are two outcomes. You either look like a fucking boss. But the part that we cut out there, too, is that he also said, I'm going to score 2 goals tonight.
Yeah, he told, I don't know if it was it in that or was it just he told the broadcast team
it was just, it was like he told the broadcast, he's like, I'm going to score two goals. I'm going to score a couple goals.
Just in the interest of transparency, could you throw up some of these comments? Because not a single person agrees with me and Pete. They all are with Sean saying like, ew, he's so cringe. That like somebody said, LMAO, so not intimidating. Quote, they're going to cry. Okay, bro. When you put it that I see where you're all coming from, but I'm still on the side of this is cool.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that it's like a cool statement in a vacuum.
Cutter.
But I want him to do that shit. Like I want him to lean into, nobody likes me. I'm going to say what I want to say.
That's only cool if you do it in a cool way. Like just like if like the Denver locker room, for example, and it's not to say that Cutter, like anything Cutter was going to do was going to intimidate anybody. But if you're in the Denver locker room and you hear that, you literally bust out laughing at him. Like there is no like nobody is looking at that and being like, that guy's got it. Like you just ended up embarrassing yourself.
It is pretty understated, but I also think that if you dress it up and make it a whole show, that's where I think it becomes more cringeworthy. Where if he's like cutting a promo, I don't know. Like I don't know. I kind of want to see him do it the other end of the spectrum. I want to see him dress it up and see what's harder to digest.
I want Cutter Gauthier on this show immediately.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Because like the thing with the Philly thing, if he, before he had gotten traded, had come out publicly and was just like, I'm not playing for this sorry ass franchise, I think everyone would have been like, what is he doing? That's weird. But since it happened afterwards, even though he never actually did anything, but it was once everyone started shitting on him, like that, it was only cool because people made him a sympathetic figure, not because he was just an asshole. And this makes him just seem like, I don't want to say he looks like an asshole. It doesn't do anything for him.
I'm kind of being swayed to be on your side that like dress it up, lean fully into it, be shameless in like what you're saying rather than kind of dipping your toes in the water with like a monotone.
Yeah, no. See, I like there being a like.
No,
what's that guy's fucking problem?
I don't mind it being like subdued. Like, I think that can be cool. It just would have been way cooler if like after the game they win and he was just like, I knew they'd be crying. Like I knew that tears were coming.
The Cutter Gauthier names are fucking amazing in the chat right now.
Cutter Gauthiers.
There was Cutter Gauthiers and Cry Tears Gauthier. My favorite was Cut My Penis Gauthier. Walked right into that one, Cutter.
Nice.
Should have said. So I told you before the show, Pete, I had a take on Cutter Gauthier.
Yeah.
Cutter Gauthier has arrived in Anaheim. He's being a heel. He is what's that guy's fucking problem guy?
There's already one of those in Anaheim, though.
And his services are no longer needed. Trevor, bye-bye. That'll be all. We'll take a second round pick. All set. I love the Ducks in their future so much that now I'm like, oh yeah, get him gone.
I kind of disagree. I kind of like the Ducks being the what the fuck is their entire problem deal.
We should train Frank to be like a little bitchy.
If they brought back the classic purple and teal right now and just became the NHL's biggest assholes, they would be like an absolute fan favorite.
You know who they got that isn't like a what's that guy's problem, but like this fucking guy, Radko Gudas?
Yeah.
I was just going to say
well, no, I like Radko Gudas a lot.
But I'm saying like they got him young and old.
Yeah.
So this is a good question. Do we keep as GMs of the Ducks? You set that up so perfectly.
That was flawless.
They already got one. Or do they? See ya, bud.
You have to get rid of Trevor in that. Like, I don't think there is. I think that would be. I think there was like a cap on how much asshole, like that kind of asshole you can have.
What? But the other option is that Cutter Gauthier arrives to Anaheim. Trevor Zegras lays eyes on him like as a little bit older, a little bit more mature, and he goes, the fuck is that guy's problem? And people go,
hey, buddy.
Hey, that was you.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, shit.
Do you ever notice that you see that the weird shit that guy does? I don't know. He just rubs me wrong. And everyone's like, oh, interesting.
Burning a year on Gauthier's ECL just to make Trevor Zegras grow up.
Oh, my God. I thought you were going to say
ALCITY.
that Trevor Zegras sees him and is like, I could take you under my wing. I want no Zegras wings touching a fucking thing.
Agreed.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know what. And look, our friend Jimmy Stewart from the Felger and Maz show, a lot of times he'll come up with hypotheticals and trades and blah, blah. And then the first question they ask him, the first time they question anything about it, just like even politely, they're like, okay, well then, so then what would they do about the salary cap? His answer is always, that's for them to figure out.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
So like, oh, well, where do they trade him? What do they want? Everything. That's for that's way above our pay grade.
Here's the thing, though. So if you keep Trevor Zegras and Cutter Gauthier, which you're definitely keeping Cutter Gauthier, obviously, you have both. You carry both.
Are you sure? You sure about that? 2 months. I think old Kevin Hayes is like.
You keep both those guys on the roster heading into next year. They're gonna have to spend so much money in veterans over the offseason to just bring those guys in and be like, listen. We need somebody to kick these guys' asses.
They are going to win the first overall pick and have to trade it for Nick Foligno.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We all silly like the mayor.